On the open seas, danger doesn't fly a flag. It hides behind a pirate's stealth and cunning. From Somali hijackers facing off against elite British commandos to missile attacks on American warships, piracy is far from an ancient threat. It's evolving, deadly, and closer than you think. But how do these criminals fare when confronted by the world's most powerful naval forces? Today we uncover the 15 pirate encounters with military navies.
MV Anatolian Incident. When reports emerged of pirates capturing merchant vessels, it might have seemed like an event reserved for historical accounts or dramatic films. Yet, maritime piracy remains a serious and ongoing threat. This reality was starkly highlighted when Somali pirates seized control of the merchant ship MV Anatolian near the Gulf of Aden. What began as a routine journey rapidly escalated into a dangerous international incident, placing 22 crew members at immediate risk, held hostage by pirates equipped with weapons and determined resolve. Upon learning of this hijacking, the Indian Navy responded swiftly and decisively, deploying their frontline warship, INS Kolkata, along with specialized naval commandos and helicopter support. They set out to confront and resolve the crisis. As darkness fell across the waters, the Indian Naval Commandos initiated their carefully planned operation, boarding the captured vessel under the cover of night. The atmosphere was undoubtedly tense, with the lives of the crew hanging precariously in the balance. The precision and stealth of the operation were remarkable, and the Somali pirates were entirely unprepared for the swift response. Without the need for gunfire or open confrontation, the commandos successfully neutralized the pirates, disarmed them, and regained full control of the ship. All 22 hostages emerged from their ordeal unharmed, a testament to the meticulous preparation and expert execution by the Indian Navy. Incidents like the MV Anatolian rescue underscore the ongoing relevance of naval strength and vigilance in global security. Piracy remains an active threat, requiring navies worldwide to remain alert and prepared for any eventuality. This dramatic encounter invites contemplation. How might events unfold if pirates challenged another equally formidable naval force? The seas, unpredictable and vast, continue to hold possibilities few can foresee. MV Dai Hong Dan case. What appeared as a routine act of piracy quickly transformed into an extraordinary international event, drawing together two nations rarely seen cooperating. In 2007, Somali pirates targeted a North Korean cargo vessel, the MV Dai Hong Dan, off Somalia's coastline, setting the stage for an unexpected alliance between North Korea and the United States. After seizing the North Korean ship, the pirates believed they had secured an easy prize. However, the ship's crew was prepared to resist. Realizing their situation was critical, the North Korean sailors covertly reached out for assistance, signaling the nearby U.S. Navy destroyer USS James E. Williams. Despite strained diplomatic relations between the two nations, the American Navy responded without hesitation, immediately moving to support the endangered vessel. As the U.S. warship approached, the North Korean sailors initiated a determined counterattack against their captors, systematically reclaiming control of their ship. Supported by the American vessel, which provided a security perimeter and strategic assistance, the North Korean crew effectively subdued the pirates in a fierce battle for control. Ultimately, the operation concluded successfully, with all pirates either captured or incapacitated. Remarkably, there were no injuries or fatalities among either the North Korean crew or their American rescuers. This remarkable cooperation demonstrated the possibility for adversaries to work together effectively when facing common threats on the open seas. Incidents such as this underscore the complexity of international relationships, highlighting how even nations with contentious histories can find common ground under urgent circumstances. It raises questions about whether such unexpected collaborations could reoccur, as maritime threats continue to evolve and challenge global cooperation. Royal Marines Pirate Battle. Is piracy still a realistic threat in modern times? A dramatic clash between Somali pirates and Britain's elite Royal Marines provided a clear and forceful answer. On November 11, 2008, the British warship HMS Cumberland identified a suspicious dhow sailing in the Gulf of Aden. This vessel had recently attempted to hijack a Danish merchant ship, posing a significant threat to international maritime security. Determined to confront and neutralize this threat, HMS Cumberland swiftly deployed two high-speed boats carrying highly trained Royal Marines toward the suspect dhow. As the commandos rapidly closed the distance, the pirates aboard opened fire, sparking an intense and dangerous gun battle. In the open waters, both sides engaged fiercely, exchanging gunfire as each sought to assert dominance and control of the situation. However, the pirates soon found themselves overwhelmed. The British commandos brought superior training, equipment, and disciplined tactics to bear, quickly gaining the upper hand. After a short but intense firefight, the Royal Marines successfully boarded and secured the pirate vessel. The outcome was decisive. 2 pirates were killed, several others captured, and the immediate threat to shipping in the region was effectively neutralized. This event was significant as it represented one of the earliest direct confrontations between Somali pirates and British military forces, sending a powerful message that piracy would meet determined resistance. Despite the swift and clear outcome, the confrontation stressed the persistent nature of maritime piracy, raising broader questions about the ongoing necessity of international cooperation and vigilance in securing global shipping lanes. MV Courier Encounter. Piracy remains an ongoing threat to maritime security, but international collaboration among naval forces has increasingly demonstrated effectiveness in countering these attacks. An exemplary case of such cooperation occurred on March 3, 2009, when naval units from Germany and the United States jointly responded to a pirate attack in the Gulf of Aden, successfully thwarting a hijacking attempt on the German cargo vessel MV Courier. The incident unfolded as Somali pirates targeted the MV Courier, prompting the ship's crew to immediately broadcast a distress signal. Responding swiftly, NATO forces operating nearby mobilized to address the threat. Among these responders were the American-guided missile cruiser USS Monterey and the German frigate Rhineland-Pfalz. Both warships rapidly coordinated their movements, pursuing the pirates to halt their attack and secure the safety of the targeted merchant vessel. The naval pursuit was decisive and well executed. Helicopters provided aerial oversight, while fast attack boats moved swiftly to intercept and corner the pirate vessel. Realizing the futility of resistance, the pirates discarded their weapons into the sea in an attempt to appear non-threatening. However, their actions did not deceive the approaching naval forces. In a carefully executed boarding operation, commandos from the American and German ships captured the pirate skiff and detained all 9 pirates without the need to fire any shots. This successful mission emphasized the effectiveness of joint naval operations, demonstrating clearly that coordinated multinational responses can significantly mitigate the threat posed by piracy. USS Mason Incident. You might assume naval vessels operating in areas threatened by piracy primarily face relatively minor dangers such as ship hijackings or attacks from small boats. However, the USS Mason encountered a much more severe and unprecedented threat, reshaping the understanding of modern maritime security. Patrolling the Red Sea, a region known for pirate activity, the USS Mason experienced firsthand that threats today extend far beyond traditional piracy to include missile attacks launched by rebel groups. The situation escalated sharply when Houthi rebels fired a missile directly at the USS Mason. Unlike typical encounters with pirates, this attack involved advanced weaponry capable of inflicting devastating damage. The crew swiftly activated sophisticated missile defense systems, showcasing their preparedness and effectiveness. They intercepted and neutralized the incoming missile, successfully preventing potential disaster and protecting both the vessel and crew from harm. This incident highlighted a broader evolution in the types of threats facing modern naval forces. Throughout its mission, the USS Mason continually adapted to a changing security landscape, maintaining vigilance not only against piracy, but also against advanced missile attacks from organized rebel factions. Dealing simultaneously with multiple forms of threat created a challenging operational environment that represented a significant departure from previous maritime security scenarios. The missile attack on the USS Mason represented a critical shift, demonstrating that naval operations must now anticipate and respond to increasingly complex threats. The scale and nature of naval warfare have rapidly evolved, demanding continuous improvements in ships' defensive measures. Maersk, Alabama hijacking. Some incidents highlight the seriousness of modern maritime piracy more dramatically than others. Among these, the hijacking of the American cargo vessel MV Maersk, Alabama stands out prominently, as it led to an intense confrontation and a remarkable U.S. Navy rescue operation involving Navy SEALs. The Maersk, Alabama was sailing near Somalia when it became the target of Somali pirates, who boarded the vessel intending to seize control. Faced with this dangerous situation, Captain Richard Phillips took immediate and decisive action to protect his crew. In a courageous decision aimed at ensuring their safety, Phillips voluntarily offered himself as a hostage. The pirates accepted his offer and attempted to flee in a small lifeboat with the captain, setting the stage for an intense international standoff. The United States Navy quickly mobilized a substantial response, deploying warships, helicopters, and an elite team of Navy SEALs to intercept the lifeboat. Negotiations between the pirates and the Navy were lengthy and tense, stretching over several days. As the situation became increasingly critical, it became clear that decisive action was necessary. Ultimately, the decision was made to authorize an operation to rescue Captain Phillips. Navy SEAL snipers, operating under challenging nighttime conditions, executed a simultaneous and precise strike, neutralizing the pirates instantly. The rescue was successful and Phillips was freed unharmed. This incident gained global attention for its extraordinary display of skill, bravery, and precision by the Navy SEALs. More broadly, it demonstrated the ongoing reality and severity of piracy, highlighting the willingness of the United States to respond with decisive force when American lives are threatened. Malaysia's high seas rescue. Just when many believed piracy had become a relic of the past, a dramatic incident involving Malaysian forces in 2015 underscored its continued threat. Pirates seized the MT Orcam Harmony, a Malaysian oil tanker transporting millions of dollars worth of gasoline, triggering an intense and coordinated maritime search operation. Following the hijacking, the ship disappeared entirely from radar screens, prompting immediate action from Malaysian authorities. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, Malaysia rapidly mobilized aircraft, naval vessels, and satellite surveillance in a determined effort to locate and reclaim the stolen tanker. For several tense days, the MT Orcam Harmony remained missing, underscoring the pirates' ability to evade detection despite modern tracking technologies. Eventually, Malaysian forces spotted the tanker, though pirates had attempted to disguise it by repainting its name and altering identifying features. Even though these deceptive measures, the Malaysian Navy and Air Force swiftly moved to surround and confront the pirates, demanding their immediate surrender. Instead of complying, the pirates attempted an escape under cover of darkness, using a lifeboat to evade capture. However, Malaysian authorities quickly detected this attempt, pursuing and apprehending all fleeing pirates after a high-stakes chase. Remarkably, the crew of the tanker was rescued safely, although the captain had suffered injuries during the ordeal. The successful recovery operation demonstrated Malaysia's resolve and capability in addressing piracy threats decisively. The incident reinforced the persistent nature of piracy as a serious contemporary issue, underscoring the ongoing need for vigilance by nations worldwide. Pirates versus USS Enterprise. This one historical encounter underscores a critical period when piracy posed a substantial threat to maritime trade and security in the Caribbean region. In the early 1820s, the United States Navy actively engaged pirates in the West Indies, a region increasingly disrupted by violent pirate attacks on merchant vessels and civilian seafarers. The situation had grown severe enough that U.S. naval forces were tasked specifically with suppressing piracy, establishing control, and restoring order to vital trade routes. Central to these efforts was Captain Lawrence Kearney and his command of the USS Enterprise, a warship specifically assigned to combat the pirate threat. Under Kearney's leadership, the Enterprise became a formidable opponent to pirate operations. In October 1821, off the coast of Cuba, Kearney's crew confronted pirate ships directly, initiating a significant naval battle. Employing superior tactics and firepower, the USS Enterprise swiftly defeated and captured the pirates, demonstrating clearly the determination and capability of American naval forces. This engagement marked only the beginning of a broader sustained campaign against Caribbean piracy. Over subsequent years, Captain Kearney and the U.S. Navy's West Indies Squadron systematically targeted pirate strongholds, seizing or destroying numerous pirate vessels and dismantling pirate bases. Their determined efforts drastically reduced piracy in the region and conveyed a powerful message that maritime crime would face relentless opposition. Although these decisive actions significantly curtailed piracy during that period, the campaign raised lasting questions about the enduring nature of piracy as a maritime threat. Was the suppression of Caribbean piracy a permanent achievement or merely a temporary solution to a persistent global problem? Historical evidence suggests piracy is resilient, capable of re-emerging whenever vigilance diminishes. Clash at Muka. Although piracy might often be perceived as an isolated threat limited to remote regions, the confrontation off the coast of Muka in Borneo in 1862 vividly illustrated how significant and disruptive it could become. During this period, the waters around Borneo were severely plagued by Dayak pirates, who frequently attacked vessels and disrupted vital maritime trade routes. Responding decisively to the escalating threat, the British Navy dispatched HMS Fox and accompanying vessels to suppress and dismantle these pirate operations. On May 23, 1862, HMS Fox located a large assembly of Dayak pirate vessels near Muka, setting the stage for an intense naval battle. The pirates had amassed dozens of armed boats, ready and determined to confront any challengers. As British naval forces closed in, a fierce and violent engagement erupted. The pirates initiated a determined assault, unwilling to retreat despite facing heavily armed opponents. The ensuing battle was fierce as cannon fire tore through wooden vessels, ships were engulfed in flames, and intense fighting dominated the scene. The Dayak pirate fleet suffered catastrophic losses. Numerous vessels were sunk, others captured, and their maritime strength decisively shattered. This dramatic defeat effectively ended their dominance and significantly curtailed pirate activity in the region. The Battle of Muka exemplified Britain's resolve in combating piracy, clearly demonstrating the consequences pirates faced when confronted by organized naval power. However, the query remained whether such decisive actions permanently ended piracy or merely represented another intense episode in a long history of maritime conflict. Battle of Cape Fear River. You might think pirate battles belong in movies, but back in 1718, near Cape Fear River, a showdown unfolded that would become legendary in pirate history. The infamous pirate Stade Abane, known as the Gentleman Pirate, was causing chaos along the Carolina coast. But the locals had enough of his raids, so Colonel William Rhett and the British Navy stepped in to stop him once and for all. On September 26, 1718, Rhett's squadron caught up to Bonnet's ship, the Royal James, near Cape Fear River. Bonnet thought he could escape, but Rhett had other plans. Cannons roared, muskets cracked, and the ships collided violently in shallow waters, making it an all-out close-quarters fight. The battle raged for hours, crews battling hand-to-hand with swords and pistols. Bonnet fought fiercely, but Rhett's forces eventually overwhelmed him, capturing the Gentleman Pirate alive. This victory was a major turning point. It sent shockwaves through pirate circles, signaling the beginning of the end for piracy's golden age. Bonnet's capture showed the world that pirates couldn't operate freely anymore, especially when naval powers stepped up their game. But did this battle truly mark piracy's downfall, or was it just one battle among many to come?
Let's dive in. It's finally time for the open discussion.
You won't believe what really happens when pirates confront U.S. Navy warships. This dramatic snapshot shows pirate boats forming a tight circle around a gigantic warship, boldly testing military might. What's going through the minds of the pirates and the sailors aboard this powerful ship? Are these pirates risking it all, or is there something more strategic at play? Drop your thoughts below and don't forget to mention #OpenDiscussion. Battle of Cape Lopez. February 10, 1722, marked a turning point in naval history, the infamous Battle of Cape Lopez. Off the coast of modern-day Gabon, West Africa, one of piracy's most ruthless figures, Bartholomew Roberts, met his dramatic end. But how exactly did this legendary confrontation unfold? Roberts, also known as Black Bart, was no ordinary pirate. He had captured over 400 ships, making him the terror of the Atlantic Ocean. British Captain Challoner Ogle, commanding the warship HMS Swallow, had been tirelessly hunting Roberts across vast seas. Finally, near Cape Lopez, Roberts spotted what he thought was a vulnerable merchant ship. Unknown to him, it was Ogle's cunningly disguised warship. As Roberts confidently approached, the HMS Swallow revealed its deadly intent, opening fire with devastating precision. In mere moments, cannonballs shattered the Royal Fortune, Roberts' flagship, sparking panic and chaos. Amidst the smoke and carnage, Roberts, decked in flamboyant attire, was struck down by grapeshot, a shocking and swift demise for a pirate king. Roberts' crew, demoralized by the death of their leader, surrendered quickly. This decisive battle ended Roberts' bloody legacy and significantly weakened the pirate threat in the Atlantic. British naval forces had secured a powerful victory, symbolizing the relentless determination of military navies to eradicate piracy. Nearly 3 centuries later, the echoes of cannon fire at Cape Lopez remind us that even the most feared outlaws can fall suddenly and dramatically, forever altering the course of maritime history. Battle of Tunmen. In August 1521, off the coast of Guangdong, China, the waters of Tunmen Bay witnessed a ferocious naval clash between the Ming Dynasty and Portuguese privateers. This was the infamous Battle of Tunmen, an explosive encounter that shaped maritime history. But why did this violent confrontation erupt? Portuguese traders, expanding their presence along the Chinese coast, were viewed by Ming authorities as pirates, violating sovereignty and stirring tensions. Commander Wang Hong of the Ming fleet was tasked with eliminating this perceived threat. Opposing him were Portuguese forces led by Captain Diogo Calvo and Duarte Coelho, confident in their advanced firepower and maritime prowess. The Ming forces, with over 50 junks, vastly outnumbered the Portuguese squadron of just 5 vessels. Yet, as cannons roared, the Portuguese immediately demonstrated devastating effectiveness, sinking Ming junks and causing widespread chaos. The Ming Navy fiercely counterattacked, firing flaming arrows and engaging in close combat. Amid fire, smoke, and bloodshed, the Portuguese fought desperately, knowing defeat meant certain death. After hours of intense fighting, both sides suffered heavy losses, but Portuguese naval superiority prevailed. The Ming fleet, battered and demoralized, was forced to retreat. Despite their victory, the Portuguese recognized the heavy price paid. Future interactions became more cautious, forever shaping trade dynamics with China. Nowadays, the Battle of Tunmen serves as a compelling reminder of how mistrust and miscommunication at sea can spark fierce battles, altering the destiny of nations. Would history have changed if diplomacy had triumphed over gunfire at Tunmen? Battle of Liaoluo Bay. In the early morning hours of October 22, 1633, a tense silence enveloped Liaoluo Bay, just off China's southeastern Fujian province. The Dutch East India Company, aiming to expand their maritime dominance, sailed confidently toward Chinese waters. Little did they know, Admiral Zheng Zhilong and the mighty Ming Navy awaited them, determined to protect China's coastal sovereignty from European privateers. Dutch commander Hans Putmans led 8 heavily armed ships into the bay, fully expecting a swift victory. Zheng Zhilong, however, had strategically concealed more than 150 war junks ready to spring a deadly trap. As the Dutch vessels moved deeper into the waters, the ambush unfolded dramatically. Cannons erupted, the sea ignited, and panic rapidly engulfed the Dutch fleet. Initially, the advanced firepower of the Dutch inflicted significant damage, but Ming forces pressed relentlessly, enveloping the invaders in an overwhelming counterattack. Within hours, the Dutch found themselves surrounded, their ships battered and crews decimated. Desperate attempts at escape proved futile against Zheng's strategic mastery. By day's end, the Ming Navy achieved a decisive victory, capturing multiple ships and severely weakening Dutch ambitions in East Asia. The Battle of Liaoluo Bay became a landmark confrontation that underscored China's determination to defend its maritime interests against foreign encroachment. What might Asia's maritime history look like today had the Dutch won at Liaoluo Bay? Nigeria's drone versus pirates. Out in the Gulf of Guinea, the Nigerian Navy is taking it seriously, dramatically stepping up their efforts to combat piracy. Piracy has been a major headache in these waters for years, but now the Nigerian Navy is hitting back hard. Recently, they've added cutting-edge drones to their arsenal to hunt down pirates. For real, these drones aren't just fancy gadgets, they're literally game changers. Capable of flying day or night, these eyes in the sky spot pirates before they even know what hit them. Just in the past year, drone surveillance helped Nigerian patrols intercept several pirate attacks, keeping crucial shipping lanes safe. But hold up, things get even more intense. Pirates are now dodging traditional patrol boats by sneaking into deeper waters, trying to stay one step ahead. But Nigeria isn't letting that slide. The Navy and Nigeria's Maritime Safety Agency have teamed up, coordinating high-speed patrol boats, surveillance drones, and satellite tracking. They're making it crystal clear. Pirates have nowhere left to hide. Even with all these efforts, pirates still try their luck. In one recent incident, pirates attempted to hijack a cargo ship just beyond Nigeria's territorial waters. Thanks to drone intel, Nigerian patrols quickly rolled up, guns blazing, and shut it down ASAP. Are pirates ready to give up, or will they find even sneakier ways to fight back? One thing's for sure, as pirates level up their game, so does the Nigerian Navy. Who's gonna win this high-stakes game of cat and mouse? China's Pirate Queen Showdown. Pirates clashing with navies isn't just a modern drama. It goes way back. Ever heard of the Battle of the Tiger's Mouth in 1809? This was no ordinary sea fight. We're talking Qing Dynasty Navy facing off against the notorious Red Flag Fleet, led by Zheng Yisao, the most feared pirate queen in history. Zheng Yisao wasn't playing games. After taking control of the Pirate Confederation following her husband's death, she commanded over 1,800 ships and roughly 80,000 pirates. For real, she ran one of the tightest operations the seas had ever seen, dominating China's southern coastline. The showdown at the Tiger's Mouth was a pivotal moment. The Qing Navy tried hard to crush Zheng Yisao's fleet, deploying their strongest warships, cannons blazing. But Zheng Yisao was a step ahead. She strategically trapped the Imperial ships in narrow channels, turning their size into a disadvantage. Imagine the panic. Ships trapped, cannons firing wildly, pirates swarming aboard. After intense, brutal fighting, the Qing fleet was forced into a humiliating retreat. Zheng Yisao's pirates weren't just victorious. They embarrassed the powerful Qing Navy, cementing her reputation as a master tactician. But here's the kicker. Rather than continuing her pirate ways, Zheng Yisao later negotiated a peaceful surrender with the Qing dynasty, retiring wealthy and respected. How many pirates pull off that kind of finesse? This wasn't just a battle. It was legendary warfare on the high seas. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Stay tuned for more incredible stories coming soon. See you next time.